All right, guys, here we go.
So excited about it. You call me every day.
Oh, really? That's funny.
You guys, I think, made this year my hiring.
Oh, that's great.
So you just send me any information you have. Yes, I have already informed them in several categories. I've already. Yeah, yeah. Well, all of them are out of towners. What are you kidding me? They're all out.
So good, yeah. So Skip is up there. He's the one he's really
Good morning, folks. Welcome to Wright Brothers National Memorial. We'll get started here in about 5 minutes so people can start gathering their seats. And invited speakers, please make your way to the front as well. Thank you.
You look cold. You all right? I'm losing it. I admire I had a restaurant here, one was bad, and so I'm leaving tomorrow. Good. But I'll tell you what, when you start the country on, you're not yours. I give them
Thank you. And sorry I didn't text you back this weekend. I was out of town.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no.
And I was like, I was at the Army Navy game, so I was.
Nah, it's not. It's all right. That 1A.
It's rare.
All right, folks, we'll get started in about 2 minutes. Everyone looks cold. At least it warmed up a little bit, right? 2 days ago, this would have been a different story. Well, good morning, and welcome to Wright Brothers National Memorial. My name is Scott Babinowicz, and I have the honor of serving as the Chief of Interpretation and Education of Cape Hatteras National Seashore, Fort Raleigh National Historic Site, and Wright Brothers National Memorial. And yes, please feel free to sit down. Yep. Yep. And thank you for joining us this morning as we celebrate the 122nd anniversary of the first flight and the accomplishments of Orville and Wilbur Wright on the ground where we gather here today. The National Park Service and the First Flight Society partner each year to host this event to acknowledge the first powered flight and to unveil and introduce the inductee into the Paul E. Garber First Flight Shrine that will be displayed here in the Visitor Center. And this year we are celebrating the induction of William P. Lear, the founder of the Learjet company. We are also honored today to join with Dare County Schools and the students and mentors from neighboring First Flight High School. For those that aren't familiar, First Flight High School is just on the other side of that hill right there, as they debut the first flyable plane built here on site since the Wright brothers back in 1903. For the past past 2 years, these students have undertaken an incredible, daunting journey. Not just building an airplane, which is tough in and of itself, but learning about avionics, physics, engineering, and possibly even learning a little bit about themselves and what it means to work as part of a team. All of this taking place with the same ingenuity, genius, and dedication first modeled by the Wright brothers over 120 years ago. It has been an honor for the National Park Service to aid in this journey and to use this park and its stories to inspire a new generation to follow in the footsteps of Orville and Wilbur Wright. Please rise for the presentation of colors by the Camden County High School Coast Guard Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps and remain standing for the national anthem performed by Betsy Robinson.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Let us pray. Gracious and almighty God, on this historic ground where imagination first dared to lift its eyes toward the sky, we pause to give thanks. We give thanks for the vision of Orville and Wilbur Wright, for minds curious enough to ask, what if? And spirits courageous enough to try. Lord, we give thanks for all who have followed in their wake, innovators, pilots, engineers, teachers, and dreamers. Lord, we pray that you would bless this gathering and all who are here, leaders and learners, students and veterans, neighbors and visitors. May this moment remind us that progress is not only born from intelligence, but from humility, persistence, and a willingness to fail forward. As aircraft once rose from these sands, may our own lives be lifted by curiosity, collaboration, and hope. Grant wisdom to those who teach the next generation, courage to those who push boundaries, and gratitude in all of us for the gift of possibility. May we leave this place inspired, not only to look to the skies, but to serve the common good here on this ground. For it's your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you to Pastor Colin Snyder for providing the invocation today. Now please join me in welcoming Dave Halleck, Superintendent of Wright Brothers National Memorial, Cape Hatteras National Seashore, and Fort Raleigh National Historic Site. In this role, Dave leads this three-part team in the same spirit as the Wright brothers, with vision and innovation, working in partnership with partners and local communities to promote the enjoyment and preservation of park resources. Dave.
Thank you. Good morning. For anybody that thinks they're cold, did you notice that the color guard had short sleeve shirts on? Don't complain too much. It's my pleasure to welcome you to Wright Brothers National Memorial. Before I get started, I want to welcome and recognize some of the important folks that are here with us today, including Leslie Ginsky from Representative Dr. Greg Murphy's office, North Carolina Senator Bobby Hoenig, Chair of the Dare County Board of Commissioners, Bob Woodard, Vice Chair of the Dare County Board of Commissioners, Steve House, several other Dare County Board of Commissioners, including Rob Ross, Mary Ellen Balance, Irvin Bateman, Chair of the Dare County Board of Education, David Twitty, Vice Chair of the Dare County Board of Education, Ron Payne, and several other Dare County Board of Education members, including Justin Bateman and Kenny Bright. Today is a very special day for the National Park Service. Every day, we find joy in stewarding our nation's parks and welcoming visitors from around the world to experience America's treasures and hear America's stories. Stories that shaped who we are as a nation, especially as we approach the 250th anniversary of American independence. Wright Brothers Memorial is one of the extraordinary places entrusted to the National Park Service to help tell the American story. And what an incredible concept it is, lands and places owned by all of you, all Americans, preserved so that the achievements, struggles, and triumphs that built this country are remembered. As a reminder to all of you, especially many of the students here today, I want to just remind you a little bit about what you have with the National Park Service. Every one of you owns 433 national park units, totaling 85 million acres. This concept, sometimes called America's best idea, is incredible. But the history contained within those acres is sometimes even more remarkable, as it is here at Wright Brothers. Today, I want to also pause to honor those we have lost in the past year, people who have dedicated their lives to preserving the legacy of the Wright brothers and advancing education. You'll notice to my right here, there's a photograph, and that's a photograph of Tony Bruno. Tony was a Navy veteran who flew transport aircraft off many different, actually 8 different aircraft carriers. He spent 28 years flying with U.S. Airways. He volunteered as a curator of the Dare County Airport Museum, and he served on the board of the First Flight Society. Tony was amazing. He was the former events chair, and a couple of years ago, in 2023, there was a special Beechcraft fly-in. Any of you here for that? It was absolutely amazing. At the base of the Big Hill Devil Hill there were dozens of Beech aircraft. It was well chronicled, very inspiring. Every bit of it was due to his hard work, his organization. And of course, Tony was also an important mentor to the students with the First Flight High School Aviation program. I also want to remember Doug Stover. Many of you may have known Doug. He devoted 32 years of his life as a cultural resource manager and historian for Cape Hatteras, Fort Raleigh, and Wright Brothers. In his retirement, he continued his service as a cultural heritage consultant for the United Nations, worked on projects across the globe in 70 countries and all 7 continents. He also authored numerous books, including a book called The Wright Brothers National Memorial in 2019, which he co-authored with the late, great Darrell Collins. And before I end, I also want to recognize the recent passing of Geneva Perry. I don't have enough time to tell you about her accomplishments. They were remarkable and many. She was also the president of the First Flight Society on the Dare County Board of Commissioners, and she did a lot behind the scenes. So when I started this job about 10 years ago, and there would be First Flight Society meetings that I would go to, and all those meetings were just perfect, There were no disagreements at all. She would always come to me after the meetings and say, we're going to have lunch and I'm going to tell you how this is going to go. And she was right. Let's take a moment to remember those that we've lost that were special to us over the last year. So today we honor William Powell Lear, an American inventor and businessman best known for founding Learjet. His innovations, including the battery eliminator, the car radio, the 8-track cartridge, helped to shape modern technology, and you'll hear more about that in a few minutes. Over his 46-year career, he earned more than 140 patents. We're also here today to celebrate the remarkable accomplishments of our own First Flight high school students, the first group to build an aircraft on this historic ground since 1903. Their achievements are extraordinary, and they reflect something even more important, a great thing that happened here through partnerships. I'd like to express my deep appreciation for our partnership with Dare County. Many of you may not know just how closely the National Park Service works with Dare County, often under the daily leadership of many of the folks in front of me. In particular, I want to thank Chairman Bob Woodard. Through his leadership, we are sometimes working every day, nights, weekends, trying to work behind the scenes to make sure life is secure and safe. Over a typical hurricane season, we probably talked dozens of times as he's focused on bringing people together, other agencies, other organizations, civic groups, and the community to make sure that we are all doing our best to safeguard life and make for a great experience in the Outer Banks. Our partnership with the Wright Flight Academy has been just as meaningful. Under the leadership of Superintendent Steve Basnight, Career and Technical Education Director Shannon Castillo, and the former Deputy Steve Blackstock, who I think had our first meeting together, we came together to create something truly special. Not only did we provide an immersive learning environment, we elevated the experience. And if you haven't seen these, you've just got to see the videos that have been created. We created 9 educational videos. Those videos have now been seen by students, adults, people all over the world more than 150,000 times. I'd like to extend our special thanks to the Outer Banks Forever. Their generous support made the video series and construction of the Aviation Laboratory possible. Our facilities maintenance staff, Melvin Walston, Matthew Twitty, Matthew Schmook, Tom Rogers, Bobby Botts, Andy Rogers, Brett Houston, and Joe Willis. They transformed, and they also lost something special to them, a simple covered canopy for a John Deere tractor into an incredible facility that facilitated what's about to be unveiled behind me. I also want to thank our education staff, Scott Babinowicz, Adair Raybon, David True, and Paula Eastman for their dedication and creativity. So as I wrap up, I'd like to thank you for being part of this special moment today, for supporting this community, for supporting these students. And on behalf of the National Park Service, I wish all of you and your families a joyful holiday season and a new year filled with hope, purpose, and possibility. Thank you.
Next, we'll have remarks from Paul Wright Jameson. Paul Wright Jameson serves as the president of the First Flight Society. The Society preserves the legacy of the Wright brothers, educating the public about the historic first flight of the Wright brothers, and promoting aviation education. Paul has a lifelong love for flying and is a descendant of the Wright family. Paul.
Well, good morning, everyone. On behalf of the First Flight Society, I welcome you to Wright Brothers National Memorial on the 122nd anniversary of the first flight. I am the first member of the Wright Brothers family to be president of the First Flight Society, but we've had some illustrious presidents in the past. The first president was William O. Saunders. He was a newspaper publisher in Elizabeth City, known for championing unpopular causes. He conceived the idea of building a monument to the Wright brothers in Kill Devil Hills and worked to make it happen. The Kill Devil Hills Memorial Association was founded on August 16, 1927. Its members being mostly businessmen and farmers from in and around Elizabeth City and Currituck County. Plans were immediately begun to celebrate the 125th anniversary of the first flight in 1928. Now, it may seem like life is faster now than in 1927, but one thing that is not faster is getting things done. We started planning for the 125th anniversary a couple of years ago, and we still have 3 years left to go. But back then, William O. Saunders wrote to Senator Hiram Bingham on December 12, 1927, informing the senator that the Kill Devil Hills Memorial Association had acquired the tract of land of more than 200 acres, this tract that we're on now. The letterhead for that association included a National Advisory Committee, council, with 53 names on it. Some of those names you may have heard of. They include Charles Lindbergh, Herbert Hoover, General Pershing, Edsel Ford, Franklin Roosevelt, Fiorello LaGuardia, Joseph Pulitzer, William Randolph Hearst, and Cecil B. DeMille. That letter was dated less than 4 months after the founding of the association. I am in awe. Just a year after that letter, the celebration of the 25th anniversary of the first flight was held. The guests first trudged up that hill, which had a cornerstone laid for the monument. They then slid back down that sand dune back then, and back to the boulder, which had been placed there a bit earlier that year. It was under a parachute, a tradition that we're upholding right now over there. The boulder was unveiled and a wreath was laid. A photo of that unveiling shows my great-great-uncle Orville, along with folks like Amelia Earhart. William O. Saunders gave the address and welcome. Saunders, by the way, was not done with getting things started. He had visited the outdoor passion play in Oberammergau, Germany, and thought that was a great idea. He went on to get the Lost Colony play over on Manuel written and produced. By the time of the 50th anniversary in 1953, our organization had changed its name to the Kill Devil Hills Memorial Society. The president then was Frank P. Lahm. Frank was born in 1877 and graduated from West Point in 1901. His father was a balloon enthusiast based in France, and he introduced Frank to ballooning. In 1907, the Army detailed Frank to the fledgling Aeronautical Division, but before he could return from France, he contracted typhoid and convalesced in Champs-Germain. There, his father introduced him to Wilbur and Orville Wright, who were traveling in Europe to try to sell their invention before demonstrating that it actually worked. His father had been promoting the Wright brothers among his colleagues in France. When Frank learned that the Army was obstructing the attempts of the Wright brothers to sell them an airplane, he wrote to a superior officer, Brigadier General Allen, urging favorable consideration. The Army advertised specifications for a powered aircraft on December 23, 1907, 4 years after the flights we were celebrating here. The Wrights had won the winning bids. Lahm worked to get funding to meet the bids. When Orville flew his aircraft at Fort Myer, Virginia in September 1908, Lahm was a passenger on Orville's second flight, thereby becoming the first U.S. military officer to fly in a powered airplane. In 1909, Wilbur trained Lahm and another officer at a field in College Park, Maryland. Lahm was pronounced a pilot on October 26 and received FAI Airplane Certificate number 2. In 1917, he commanded the Army Balloon School, and he received an when he was the Army's only airplane, balloon, and dirigible pilot. In 1926, the Army Air Service was renamed the Air Corps, and Lahm was breveted to Brigadier General. He retired on November 20th, 1941. So when he was president of the Kill Devil Hills Memorial Society in 1953, he was 76 years old. I'm not quite that old yet, but I could empathize. By that time, it had been 46 years since he had written the Army urging them to consider the Wright Brothers airplane. The Society's name was changed to the First Flight Society in 1966, and 2 years from now, the organization will celebrate its centennial. It'll be a bigger than typical event, a practice run for even bigger celebrations of the 125th anniversary. How many of you were here for the centennial? Yeah, good. How many were here for the 75th anniversary? Okay, I got it. Yeah, all right, somebody. It'll take a lot of work between now and then, and we invite you to help us out. Thank you.
Next, we will have Bill Douglas, First Flight Society member and chair of the National Aviation Advisory Committee, who will read written remarks prepared by Shonda Lear Baylor, daughter of William P. Lear. Bill.
Good morning, everyone. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. William P. Lear had 3 surviving children, and of the 3, his daughter Shonda Lear, who is now Shonda Lear Baylor, was the one that was going to represent the family until a few days ago. She offered her remarks, and I agreed to make an attempt to read her remarks on her behalf. So what she told me was that everybody was able to read the accomplishments of her father. And you heard remarks by David about many of the accomplishments, and there's a bio in your program. But she said what she wanted to have heard this morning was what it was like being the daughter of William P. Lear. So here we go. Celebrating my dad, Bill Lear. What an honor. Just think what hiding out in the Hiram Kelly Library in Chicago could do for you. From the time Dad was 8 years old, that was his go-to place for safety because he had an alcoholic mom. So what do you do in the library? You read everything you happen to get your hands on. You read what interests you and how things work, like the radio, how to make one, and girls interest you. And then one day a girl asks you, is it possible to have a radio in the automobile? Sure, I can figure that out. And that was why he invented and developed the car radio and sold the patents to a company that ultimately became Motorola. How do you get away from problems? How do you escape? How? Leave those problems behind up there, fly. But there's a but. Once you get up there, how do you find the way down? Well, you dial in a radio station and fly towards the radio station. It's marked on the map. It also tells you where a landing strip is relative to that. Easy. Well, not that easy. Sometimes conditions make it a little harder. And you got to fly the airplane out also. So how about a way to show where the station is in relation to you, a direction finder, an automatic direction finder. So you invent an automatic direction finder that's used throughout the war to save pilots. Wow, all those years hiding in a library were really paying off. And what do you get? Money. And women, lots. And wives, lots also. 4 to be exact. Then the real key to his success, Moya Olson, she grew up in show business where women are everywhere, but this woman was special. Her mother, the wife of Ole Olson of the comedy team Olson and Johnson, made sure that she knew the power of using her mind to solve problems. Moya, she knew what she was getting into with Bill Lear, and always swore that she was going to be his fourth and last wife, and she was. But she knew that staying at home with the children was not going to make that happen. So she hired a nanny, and she went to work every day with her husband in the outer office doing needlepoint. Although Bill still found ways to keep women part of his life, he truly respected Moya's sense of humor, beauty, love, and protection. She was the glue that held his life and company together. When Dad would fire someone, she would tell the unhappy employee on the way out of the office, "Come back tomorrow. I'll make it okay." She knew that using her mind for guidance as to what to do would give her the ideas of how to solve problems and bring peace back to both the office and the home. She never confronted Dad verbally. She wrote him love letters instead, daily, making suggestions for better ways of solving problems, and he listened. And with this kind of protection, Dad was free to solve problems. In 1963, after Dad started manufacturing the Learjet, obviously the first mass-produced business jet, you can imagine that being the daughter of a multimillionaire made me the girl to date. My sister fixed me up with the son of another millionaire who picked me up in a huge black limo. When we got into the back of the limo, his intentions were clear, but I pushed him away. So seeing he was getting nowhere, he said, "Well, where do we go?" "How about Santa Monica Airport?" "What?" "I want to go see my dad." "Really?" "Well, there was beautiful music coming out of a strange box behind the driver's seat. We arrived at the airport to find Dad getting out of a Learjet. And I said, "Dad, you got to see and hear this. You need to put this in the airplane." Dad got in a limo. We drove to the home of this guy's father, Madman Muntz, the inventor of that player. That way I didn't have to continue the date, and Dad was truly intrigued. The head of RCA shortly thereafter told Dad, "If you can get 30 minutes of music on one of those tapes, I'll put the whole RCA library on it." So Dad doubled the tracks on the tape and invented the Lear 8-track tape cartridge stereo player, which I had, and I suspect some of you did too. As you can imagine, my dad had a fairly rotten childhood. When I had just returned from the hospital where my second baby was born, he came to visit. And he was sitting next to a window where the sunshine was pouring in from behind his head, and I really couldn't see his face. But he was watching me with my newborn baby, and I heard him quietly say, "I wonder if someone held me like that." Later, I saw him carefully lift her up into his arms and hold her so lovingly. That little girl was 5 when Dad passed away. Clay Lacy, together with other famous pilots, flew the missing man formation over the church where he was being honored. A few days later, we took his ashes with the intention of letting them disperse out the window of a small airplane over San Francisco Harbor. My brother John was to do this, but he didn't realize the wind force as he began putting the box out the window. The box was ripped from his hands, and we watched it tumble down, and Mom wondered whether it was going to land next to some beautiful sunbathing bay. Thank you so much for honoring him today, Shonda Lear Baylor.
Thank you. At this point, I'd like to invite Superintendent Halleck, Mr. Jameson, and Mr. Douglas to please approach the portrait for its unveiling. William P. Lear, an aviation inventor and businessman with a keen visionary focus of the aviation field, William Lear manufactured the first mass-produced business aircraft, transforming business travel around the world. Lear received over 140 patents in his career for a variety of electrical and aviation-related inventions. A self-taught radio engineer who developed and modernized electronic and radio systems while serving in the U.S. Navy and other businesses outside of his service time, Lear's work improved aviation safety by inventing a reliable autopilot system and developing the first automatic aircraft landing system. Gentlemen. At 11 a.m., this portrait will be installed in the shrine here at the Visitor Center as well. Great, thank you. So now it's time to talk about students and airplanes and building. So as we introduce the aviation program in the Wright Flight Academy, I'm going to start by kind of sharing my experience with how this all developed. And it's something I think we've all kind of been joking about over the last couple of days as we've kind of come together on this. So it was about 3 years ago when this kind of idea first started. And we received a message, just a very casual message from Dr. Castillo at the Dare County Schools. It was very basic, but very intriguing. She simply asked for a meeting with us, the National Park Service, to discuss a potential educational partnership. That's all it said. And as a Park Service employee, as an educator, my mind instantly goes to, all right, we're talking field trips, we're talking curriculum, we're talking school visits, you know, kind of the normal run of show. Awesome, let's talk about it, sounds great. Not knowing what to expect, though, we headed to our first meeting where we heard about the vision for students from First Flight High School to build a flyable airplane on the grounds of Wright Brothers National Memorial. Now, I don't want to speak for Superintendent Halleck in this, but I think from our perspective, what an awesome and amazing idea. What a unique way to connect our local students to the history and the stories right in their backyard, literally right out the back door of the school. And something we would not be able to accomplish without a strong partnership with a partner like Dare County Schools. We simply had to find a way to make this work. While we were all smiles around the table, it was not going to be an easy task to accomplish. We needed to find a place to build the airplane. We brainstormed, and our park maintenance team came together from all 3 parks here in the Outer Banks to build a brand new aviation laboratory here within the park. Dare County Schools worked tirelessly to put the program together, recruiting not only mentors from the community to assist, but also a world-class instructor. As you will hear shortly, I do not think they could have recruited any better instructors and role models than the ones we have here today. National parks are not just places of beauty and historical importance. They are places to connect with our nation's stories, to learn from our past, and to be inspired. This partnership with Dare County Schools testifies to the power and importance of our public lands in preserving and storing and preserving and telling our collective stories. At this point, please join me in welcoming Mr. Steve Bassnight, Superintendent of Dare County Schools. With more than 30 years of experience in education, most of it right here in Dare County, Superintendent Steve Bassnight's education philosophy is to increase student learning and then do what is best for students and staff. Since joining Dare County Schools in December of 2022, he has led with a vision focused on expanding learning opportunities for all students and preparing students for success beyond graduation. Under his leadership, our schools continue to make tremendous progress in academics innovation, and student growth. Steve.
Good morning, everyone. Before I get started, I want to invite a couple people to come up here with me. Steve Blackstock, Dr. Shannon Castillo, if you would come up front, please. Thank you. While they're coming up too, I want to recognize just a couple other people. We actually have board members, Board of Education members here that were recognized earlier, but we also have a group of students that serve as our student board members, and I would like to recognize them and thank them for being here as well. I'd like to recognize my wife and my daughter, who started taking flying lessons at 15 years old and is currently preparing to take her written test with over 100 hours of flight time, and very proud of that as well. And finally, we have a visiting group from out west, western part of the state, Board of Education and Superintendent Matt Stover, who brought his board down here today after hearing a presentation at the school board conference to take a look at the programs that we have here in Dare County Schools, and particularly this program that they're interested in trying to replicate in their district as well. So thank you very much for being here today as well. So good morning. I am blessed to welcome you all to this incredible, once in a lifetime, okay, maybe twice in a lifetime event on this absolutely balmy day at the base of Kildover Hills. On December 17th, 1903, the temperature that day was hovering right around freezing. Just for the record, I was not here on December 17th, 1903, but I have been here for several of the celebration days when the wind was blowing so hard that it was raining sideways out here, and the bands were standing up playing in the rain. I had the honor of supervising a group of Dare County School students here during the centennial celebration, the week-long celebration, and several of those days it was pouring down rain as well. So please enjoy the tropical weather today as we sit out here. When I became superintendent in Dare County, one of the first things I heard was that Steve Blackstock had seen a story about building an airplane for students. And Steve is a man of few words. He walked by Dr. Castillo and basically said, figure out how to do this. Shannon, Dr. Castillo, took that information and ran with it. And one day in our office, she passed me in the hallway. She was going one way, I'm going the other. Just walking by, she looks at me and she says, we're going to build an airplane, and kept right on walking down the hall. Didn't know what to say about that, but I kept walking. Over the course of the next few months, we started talking about this plane and what this project would ultimately look like. During some of those conversations that we had about the possibility of another parachute covering up something out here on this property, I mentioned to Shannon, wouldn't it be absolutely awesome for the students at First Flight High School to build their airplane on the property of the first flight? Now, y'all, that's beyond imagination. See, our original idea was to have some of the pieces of the plane, have the students constructing some of the pieces of the plane in the shed. That was our original idea. But having met Superintendent Halleck and worked with him previously after Hurricane Dorian in Ocracoke, I told her, I said, set up a meeting, let's go sit down and talk. So we walk in, and sort of like Scott said a while ago, I think they're probably imagining something like, let's talk about curriculum, and let's do field trips and all these kinds of wonderful, and we walk in and go, we want to build a plane on the Wright Brothers property. Now, the reaction was priceless. Before the words had Dave Hallett was grinning from ear to ear at that moment. So I felt like we were having a good meeting. And from then on, it literally was just a product of trying to figure out how to make this happen and what it was going to look like. We didn't have a place to do it. We had a classroom in the school, and if you've not been to First Flight High School, the media center in the First Flight High School, the whole end of the building is windows, and it looks directly out at that. That's what you see when you're inside the building. So the idea that, yeah, we can do it in a classroom, but we need a lab, we need a place to construct the plane. And we came over and we're walking around and went out into the service area, and there was this literally a lean-to roof, outside wall, no front, no back, where dirt floor, where there were lawnmowers parked. And Dave said, I think we can do this. We could close this in. Okay, that sounds great. It gives us a place. Well, him and his staff started closing it in. And what it turned into is what we refer to as the lab. It is closed in, it is heated, it is concrete floored, and it has served just beyond our imagination for what our students have been able to create. I want to thank that staff for all their hard work in converting really a shed into our lab. Now, I would be remiss if I did not thank Admiral Tench and all of the volunteers who have worked to make this program such a success. And I also want to recognize Mr. Tony Bruno for his contributions to this program as well. And finally today, I want to recognize and thank our students, because they are the reason for the existence of this program, and they are the ultimate reason that this program is a success. We don't do things individually. We do things as teams. And Admiral Tench and his students have created a phenomenal team that has developed something that you're getting ready to see in just a few minutes. From a wooden flyer on the sands of the Outer Banks to jets crossing our oceans, progress begins when someone dares to try. The Wright brothers remind us that innovation begins with curiosity, perseverance, and the courage to try. Every plane that lifts off today carries with it the legacy of the first 12 seconds right here behind me. But no other plane will carry the legacy of this one. To quote Otto Lilienthal, to invent an airplane is nothing. To build one is something. But to fly is everything. So to our students, just like those mom and dad birds every spring in their nest, when they push those little ones to the edge, go fly. Thank you.
Next, we'll have Rear Admiral Joey J.T. Tench, instructor, First Flight High School Aviation Laboratory. As the dynamic leader of First Flight High School's aviation program, retired U.S. Naval aviator Admiral Tench is the driving force behind the program's success. His unique military background, enthusiasm, and leadership have created an impactful learning environment where students not only study aviation and engineering, but also develop leadership, discipline, and problem-solving skills that will serve them well throughout their lives. Under his leadership, an overwhelming number of aviation alumni have been inspired to pursue aviation-related careers. Admiral.
Good morning, everyone. And what a day it is for us on the Outer Banks. It's been a great job by the National Park Service and First Flight Society for putting all this together. The national anthem was fantastic. Very well done. And thanks to all of you for coming out on a warmer morning than we've been having. But as Dave and Steve said, one that's still cold enough to remind us of what the Wright brothers faced on the 17th of December back in 1903. And as you look around, one thing we're blessed with is having history in our own backyard. And history can set traditions that last for generations. And this Outer Banks community played a huge role in helping the Wright brothers make history 122 years ago. And one of those community locals, of course, was John T. Daniels, known to history as a great cameraman. And his photo, the first he'd ever taken of Orville taking flight, is an iconic image that lives on and resonates around the world today. John T. was one of the Wright brothers' biggest supporters during their time on the islands. And like all good northeastern North Carolinians, he admired hard workers. One of John T.'s quotes on Orville and Wilbur is absolutely on target for us today. John T. said, "They were two of the hardest working boys ever seen. And when they worked, they worked. They had their whole heart and soul into everything they did." I know John T. would be proud of everyone involved here today, because absolutely everyone associated with First Flight Aviation has put their all into this aircraft about to be unveiled. National Park Service, Dave, Scott, Skip, thanks for all the great documentary work. Thanks for everything you have done to get us here. For Dare County Schools, Steve 1 and Steve 2. Shannon, thanks for all the support as we have rolled through there. First Flight High School, I'm loving seeing the students out here who are currently there. Joe Tyson has set a great tone at that place. We couldn't be happier working with him. Dr. Duke Wallen keeps us on track, and I couldn't be happier with him as well. For this, for this has been said, the second plane built on this site, the local community has again played a huge role in our success. Thanks to all of you who have followed us on social media, who have came by the lab, and who have come out today to support all these students. Special thanks go out to Max's Pizza for keeping us fed during those long days. To Good Measure Graphics, who came on board to help us prep for the final reveal. To Outer Banks This Week podcast, who helped us get the word out to get into the community. And thanks, of course, you'll see sitting over here in the front row to the 6 mentors who volunteered their time, their expertise, their leadership, and their friendship during countless hours as they came to the lab, ready to inspire the class on easy days and on really hard days. Peter, Jim, Tim, Bob, and Scott, none of this was possible without you. And I cannot thank you all enough. Round of applause for these local mentors. And a salute, as been mentioned previously, to Tony Bruno, one of our original mentors who just recently passed away after a courageous battle against cancer. Tony kept us on course and on glide path the whole time he was with the program. Fair winds and following sea, shipmate. And finally, the reason we're all here today, the First Flight High School students who have built this first aircraft on this spot since the Wright brothers. I know John T. would be happy with this generation of local young men and women, because they truly are the workingest crowd, the workingest group you could ever ask to have on your team. We've got students here today from all 4 classes who have been associated with this aircraft, and together they develop leadership and teamwork skills, and they've used focus and discipline and wooden crates full of thousands of parts, multiple size washers, rivets, nuts, screws, aircraft ribs, aircraft skins, avionics, navigation systems, an engine, and an upper and a lower engine cowling that just wouldn't stop. And they built an aircraft. We've asked, why not you, why not now, almost daily for the last 2.5 years. And our students, your sons and daughters, have accepted that challenge. Our 22 graduates have done remarkable things. We have 5 in pilot training, 4 in 4-year colleges, 2 high-end welders, 2 in the military, 1 in aviation maintenance program in Currituck, another one en route there, 6 in the local workforce and going to community college. And I am so proud to every student that's been in our class. I am so proud of having had you in First Flight Aviation. Thank you for showing up ready every day. And for the parents who I have met and who have come out here today, thank you for sending those sons and daughters to school ready to go and with such a positive attitude. How about a round of applause for the parents, for the kids who built this aircraft? And finally, thanks to everyone for welcoming me as part of the First Flight family. To have the chance to come home to Northeastern North Carolina and end up being a part of something this special has truly been an honor. And now it's my honor to introduce Alex Sharp. Alex is one of our seniors in the aviation program, and he's going to take us across the finish line here at the ceremony this morning. Alex, 100%, absolutely embodies John T.'s greatest desire for the work ethic needed on the Outer Banks. His blood, sweat, and tears are all over this airplane. Alex, come on up, shipmate. Take us home.
Good morning, everyone. I would like to thank you all for being here, family, friends, and both the community of the Outer Banks and North Carolina as a whole. I am Alexander Sharp, and I am speaking on behalf of the First Flight High School's aviation program today. I welcome you all here to celebrate the 122nd anniversary of flight, and we are fortunate enough to be standing right here where powered flight was achieved 122 years ago on this date, December 17th at 10:35 a.m. But fast forward 119 years later, the construction of the second aircraft to be built here began with students from First Flight High School who asked themselves 2 questions: why not you, and why not now? Students led by not only Admiral J.T. Tench, but also mentors that gave their time and effort went with one goal in mind: to build advanced aircraft RV-12IS. But over the course of the next 3 years, this course has not only been about the construction of this plane, but also about the development of the students. I believe I speak for everyone here when I say to see those around me succeed has given me a great sense of motivation. I see the students in this program before me go on to their journeys in life and know that they will be successful. And it means a great deal to me to know that they'll have great success, not only to me, but to the mentors and Admiral Tench. This program has produced many amazing young men and women that will go out into being leaders of the future. For example, we have members of this program who have gone into being high-end welders, pilots, aircraft technicians, going into 4-year universities, and many more. But, you know, never one without a forward plan or goal. For myself, I will hopefully be going to the United States Naval Academy in the class of 2030. A lot of this credit goes into the success. A lot of this credit into the success comes from not only Admiral Tench, but also all the mentors that you see here today. Unfortunately, Tony Bruno did pass away earlier this year, and we will definitely remember him. But also Scott, who is on his own journeys around the world right now. To say that they care for us is a major understatement, as they take the lumps of coals that are presented to them at the beginning of this program and they turn them into diamonds through the time and effort that they've made, the guidance, patience, and determination that they do to the best of their ability every single day that they show up in the lab. But without ado, the young men and women that have put their countless hours into this aircraft together are here today to present you with first flight's aircraft, RV-12IS. Thank you.
Thank you for joining us today for the anniversary event to celebrate the accomplishments and legacy of Orville and Wilbur Wright, to honor First Flight Shrine inductee William Lear, and to celebrate the amazing accomplishment of First Flight High School aviation program. Following these remarks, I will invite representatives from Dare County Schools to unveil the plane. Following the unveiling, the administration, students, and instructors will be available for questions. We invite you all to check out this new first in flight for Wright Brothers National Memorial. In about 30 minutes, please join us at the boulder for the brief presentation by 1903 witness descendants, led by Paul Wright Jameson. The presentation will begin at 10 a.m. We are honored today to have the descendants with us once again, here to witness this and another new amazing first flight, the first video students. Following this will be a flyover tribute to the Wright Brothers National Memorial by a Lear 36, owned by Jeff Coggins, Chief Pilot and Associate Director of Operations for Phoenix Air Group. And hopefully the Spirit of Freedom, the C-54 U.S. Air Force plane better known as the Candy Bomber, that played a vital role in the Berlin airlift following World War II. The flyover will occur at 10:35 to mark the time the Wright brothers achieved first free controlled flight of a power-driven, heavier-than-air airplane and changed our world forever. If the Candy Bomber makes the flyover, they will land here at the airport and be open for tours for the remainder of the day. Also, please explore the visitor center and the flight room, and we'll be showing videos from the Wright Flight Academy and schools. I leave you with a pertinent quote from William Lear from 1963, reflecting on his desire to build a business jet. Lear said, "They said I'd never build it, that if I built it, it wouldn't fly, and that if it flew, I couldn't sell. Well, I did, and it did, and I could." To the students, mentors, and administrators of First Flight High School and the aviation program, I'm sure at times you found yourself with similar thoughts. Will this work? Will it fly? Will we finish? But through your hard work and great leadership, and hopefully a little historical inspiration, you accomplished something that has never happened before. Let me be one of the many to say to the students, job well done. On behalf of the National Park Service, it was an absolute honor to partake on this journey and learn alongside you and be part of this newest first in flight story. You have added a depth of engagement, excitement, and discovery to this park that will forever be a part of the Wright Brothers story. Without further ado, please direct your attention to the plane for its unveiling.
1, 2, 3.
We are! First flight! We are! First flight! We are! First flight!
Let's go!
Get on it!
Yeah.
All right, weekend, you guys can come in. Let's raise the canopy here. Hey, Logan, reach up. There we go. Make sure that stays open. Okay, hold that. Ready? Okay, bring it up. Okay. You guys,
That's on the slide. I love the parking lot. That's the blue top.
I found too much time on the
Check out their plane.
Just run wild, bro. That's the camera.
No pressure.
You know, actually, folks, come over this way on the wing because the sun's in our eyes. We're not in this here.
Oh, thank you for that.
We had to be on the backside.
Is that a little better, folks?
Yes, thank you. We get down. There we go.
Yeah, yeah, definitely.
All these people. So funny.
Not yet.
Beautiful. You guys rock, man.
Good job, guys.
Good sermon. You rock. John enjoyed the sermon.
Very enjoyable.
JT, everybody that spoke about y'all did a fantastic job.
I don't know. We're here.
Hey, Jeff.
Laura's doing good. She's home right now.
Let's go around. Hey, Ray.
Yeah, chillax. I'm doing all these just
Wide open. No, I'm reflecting.
Like a nice
I'm doing a reflection like that. This is a cool shot here.
What's this?
Shooting the logo within the
It's going to warm up. The plane already has a rain.
Tim and I. Oh yeah, that one I am. But I'll tell you what, when you email me today, I have been so target fixated on this for the last few months. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. I looked at my phone today. I got like 40 texts, and I never do that. Yeah.
This is probably one of the most rewarding things.
I gotta tell you, 33 years in the military, and this is absolutely one of the most rewarding things I've ever done. Any deployment, any mission, anything. To come back to Northeastern North Carolina and be a part of this, watch these kids get this done, it's just fantastic. I could not be more proud of them.
These are good kids.
They absolutely are the best. And look, we have kids here today, not just current kids, but we have kids who graduated and came back from all over for this.
It's like my baby so much.
Thank you. If you have anything, man, stop by anytime. Your son did great. Well done. Thank you guys for everything. Yeah, absolutely.
Great job.
So good.
Feels good, eh?
It does.
Yes, sir.
And Alex's partner in crime, Jorge.
Oh my God.
Amazing.
Huh? Yes, it's really cool. It's cold.
Hi, how are you doing? I'm good.
On my entire project. Yes. I don't know. Terrible flight. I got so much fun. So proud.
I appreciate that.
Proud of you. Oh, thank you. Thank you so
What do you think? We have a good team. Oh, you're welcome. You are more than welcome. Exciting day. Yes, it was. Yes, it is. And yesterday was an exciting day, too. John, hey.
Thank you. There's a lot of...
This is one of my fellow mentors here. Great guy. Good engineer. John, right here. Here's my brother. Rich, come here. Oh, really? This is Bob. He's one of the mentors I work with. And we're known as Jim Bob on the field because we've been working together. Yeah, it's going to be fun to fly. No, we haven't even started the engine yet, but it's soon to happen. Real soon. Yeah, come on over and walk around, look inside the cockpit area and all that. Yeah.
Yeah, me and Andy for blood, sweat, and tears.
Hey, Ricky. Let's see Mary and Sam. Hey.
Make sure that somebody's in there messing with the brakes. Okay. If you hit, let's say right brake, actually the right brake. So it steers. That's where you see all the planes are actually automatically because they steer. The brakes.
glad you could make it out.
Well, sometimes I built the whole back there, not by myself. That's kind of
Lear's the best look we have. Alex, how are you doing? Are you taking a picture? Right now? Good. Last
waiting for the FAA to come and inspect the airplane and give us our sign off.
Get under this. Oh, it's right here.
Oh, great.
Well, you know,
right there. Well, if they've been a rivet or something that's been going quite straight, it would have to be replaced. Steve! Brother.
We'll let you go. Okay, fine.
Thanks for coming out.
awesome. What a great day.
Oh, it's a fantastic day. Making history today, right?
That's exactly right.
That's kind of really cool, you know, to be part of history.
Long good servant of the free. I know.
Can't get any cheaper than that. Oh, yeah.
How you doing? Good to see you. Doing well. Can't complain.
He's a big brother.
Oh yeah, yeah.
They got a little bit to do, but not too much.
The other day.
No way.
I promise it's one where they put the baby on shit. I promise. I thought you watched them. They got
It's great. Perfect. Thank you. All right, we'll see you around. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Max? No,
Exactly.
Get away from Dion. Somebody's just gonna get a cut. Healthy scratch. Hey. Wow. He's out too.
So it sounds like this is a piece of
Especially you guys have any questions? It's one of our students.
Yes, that's actually the music that you have in there. It's not like a radio.
That?
Yeah. It just sounds like, you know, the music with the
Oh, really? Hey, listen. So, roughly about weighs about
Yeah, we can certainly. Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. We'll get that figured out. You've got my email address. Okay. Yeah. Well, and Duke is the CDC in the school. He's also our CIMC. So.
Jeff Eisenhower.
How are you? Duke Wallen.
Nice to meet you, sir. I'm the CT director.
Oh, nice. Well, welcome. Thanks. I'm glad you guys were able to be here today.
We're talking. I've got a CDC that I'd like to
We're going to take a picture.
It's been like 10 minutes since I've seen you. That sounds good. All right. Yeah, absolutely. I don't have my wallet out here, so I hope you can. Yeah.
Oh, Peter. It's gone. Okay, so the next one's not going to have that.
No, the wings. You can pay the wings off 5 minutes. Bob, how
Yeah,
you doing?
I remember you. Oh, man.
So good to see you.
How you doing? Hey, Dad. Good, good. Say and spell your first and last name.
Say and spell?
Yes.
Logan Botson, Logan-B-O-T-S.
And are you currently at First Flight High School or did you graduate?
I graduated class 2025.
This guy says I'm fine. It's the perfect time to do it. Alright, man. Just tell me a little bit about what today is.
Today felt like a little history. It was like a historical event, and it was super cool that I lived with it, like through just like my classmates. A lot of them, my boys, turned into my brothers through the 2 years. Honestly, I've made so many friendships from that class, or the 2 years I was in there, that I didn't think I was gonna.
Oh yeah, you guys, don't worry. For all the first year students, we got a new aircraft coming. That's our final. And we're going to start right from the beginning. I'm going to give you a final in the spring, but you do not have one this year. Your grades are your grades off. Although I have one last one. I think you all did okay. It's your leadership, teamwork, focus, and discipline grade for the century. There are a few hundred, but they are straight hundreds.
Really? I was just asking.
It's great to see all the kids come back.
Oh, look at that spot. They're all that spot.
Hey, it's all good. That's him right there. Right here. I do not. I can his brother's name. That's Yanni. Tell me. Yanni keeps me posted on how you doing. So look, he's following his shit.
Working at
Stop ruining it.
We got Gavin. Wait, is that Gavin something? No. Math now.
Yeah, I know.
Deburr before a rivet could even be
That's $15.
Did I run over it?
And then he wanted to move to the Tate family because they were all just integral parts of this whole thing. Thank you so much. I wish I could get somebody to make more of them, but my daddy got these at Halloran and Company.
It's little Sammy Walker, little Sammy Walker.
Everybody on the live stream. Hi, Lisa. This can't be good. Oh, they were. You know what? The asshole. Obviously, one of yours is company. I got it.
We just want to make sure all the reefs are good. Just waiting for him to be ready. He just wants to be done by 10:35 for the flight.
It shouldn't take very long. I don't want to be on the news again.
Or you do the WC spring cleaning family. Well, it's only him, and he's got two nephews, and they live like far away, and so.
So you said you're going to use one hand. Where did we go?
They'll be here. Okay.
That one?
Yes.
You want to go ahead and get the tap?
They just tell you where to go.
We'll give it 5 minutes. We'll get 5 minutes. Okay, we'll be ready. All right.
Okay, hang on. Mr. Harry's coming. That's on.
All right. We're going to start in 5 minutes.
No problem. When we start.
You're going to have a big crowd after. Yeah, that's great. Tell you what, I'm going to go ahead and give you the microphone. I'm going to turn it up. Yep, all right.
Testing. Hello, hello.
I'm glad to be able to your daughter and make somebody feel
I could go up a little higher, but we want to be careful we don't get it.
Yeah, right.
right now.
So I don't understand.
Yeah. That's probably good right there.
Okay.
Let's try that.
Hello.
We're waiting on
One more witness, so just hang in there a bit.
I'll try to turn it a little. Can't get too much higher. Just try that.
Okay. Oh, that's nice. Well, hello everyone, and thank you for coming out to help celebrate the 122nd anniversary of the first flight. I am Paul Wright Jameson. This boulder commemorates the location from which my great-great uncles, Wilbur and Orville Wright, first flew their powered airplane. Actually, the first attempt to fly the 1903 flyer was a few days before, on December 14th, and they tried from that big hill over there to get some downhill momentum. To make a long story short, that was not successful, and there was some damage to the flyer. They quickly repaired the flyer on December 15th and 16th. And on the morning of December 17th, the wind rose, and they would be able to start from a level rail. They hung out the signal for the men at the life-saving station to come and witness it. 3 men showed up in the life-saving station: Will Doe, Adam Etheridge, and John Daniels. They were joined by W.D. Brinkley, who had been hanging out at the station, and Johnny Moore, a boy who just had wandered by and fortuitously witness history. How do we know that this is the spot from which they took off? The Kill Devil Hills and the Outer Banks as a whole did not look like this back in 1903. A lot of shifting sand dunes. 25 years after the first flight, 3 surviving witnesses of the first flight, Will Doe and Adam Etheridge of the Life Saving Station and Johnny Moore, were asked by the National Aeronautic Association to try to pinpoint the spot. After looking over the landmarks, they stated in an affidavit, "We proceeded to agree upon the spot, and we individually and collectively state without the least mental reservation that the spot we located is as near correct as it is human to be without the data in hand to work from after a lapse of 25 years. So this spot here is as good as any. How do we know how long the flights were and the distances traveled? The Wright brothers had attached the world's first flight recorder to their flyer. There was a switch that the pilot operated with his right hand. When he set the switch to the right, the engine was off. When set to the center, the engine could be started. When pulled to the left, the flyer would be released from the track while a stopwatch and a propeller revolution counter would be started. So when they took off, the distance was calculated to be 120 feet from where the first flyer lifted off the rail. So that's where that first boulder is out there. Then it was Wilbur's turn again. He too hadn't got the hang of the front rudder, so the flight was undulating, and it too lasted only about 12 seconds. But the wind had died down a bit, and he traveled 175 feet. So that second boulder out there approximates the second landing spot. It was Orville's turn for the third flight. He was getting the hang of the rudder and traveled 200 feet in 15 seconds to where that third boulder is out there. For the fourth flight, Wilbur was traveling along nicely, less undulating before, at around 800 feet, he had to turn up the front rudder. One of these days I'll get this whole thing on one piece of paper. To clear a small hammock that was obviously no longer there, and then turn the rudder down too much, and the flyer plowed into the sand. But Wilbur had flown 852 feet in 59 seconds. That fourth boulder way out there. The gas tank on the flyer held about a half gallon, and they could estimated they could fly 18 minutes and travel 9 or 10 miles. They thought that after lunch they'd try to fly to the life saving station and back. But after they and the witnesses had brought their flyer back here, a gust of wind caught the flyer, and it's hard to flip over. Everyone rushed to try to stop it, but to no avail. It was seriously broken up, and they decided to call it a day. They packed up and prepared to head to Ohio so they could be home for Christmas. Wilbur and Orville continued to work on improving their flyer and their flying technique. When they finally flew before large crowds in 1908, their lives changed. Meanwhile, the lives of the witnesses went on. They mostly stayed around here and raised families. Some of their descendants are here today to lay wreaths in their honor. The tradition of laying a wreath on the 25th began on the 25th anniversary in 1928, when this boulder was dedicated. William O. Saunders, the president of the Kill Devil Hills Memorial Association, which later changed its name to the First Flight Society, laid a wreath in honor of Wilbur Wright. So representing John T. Daniels, the man who squeezed the bulb on the camera that took that famous picture, are Tommy Zamer and Christian Zamer. Would you please lay a wreath along the boulder?
I'll go this way.
There you go. Thank you. Representing Adam Etheridge, who was another member of the lifeguard station, are Garen and Dorian Clark, and his grandchildren Alma Clark and Betsy Brown. Would you please lay a wreath on the border?
Actually, we want to just separate so we can see the wreath. There we go.
Thank you. Representing Will Doe, who is another member of the lifeguard station, are Brian and Hope Hart, and daughters Emma Grace, Joy, and Faith Hart. Thank you. Representing W.C. Brinkley is Harry Schiffman. Did you make it?
Haven't seen it.
All right. Representing Harry Schiffman is Judith Fearing. Yay, Judith. Representing Johnny Moore are his great-grandchildren, Lee Brickhouse and Lisa Brickhouse Davis, and great-great-granddaughter Emily Davis. Would you please lay a wreath along the border? All right, thank you. Bill Tate was not there to witness first flight, but he was instrumental in persuading Wilbur and Orville that the Outer Banks would be the best place to undertake his experiments. We honor his memory as well. Representing Bill Tate are his granddaughter Maria Tate Chu and great-great-granddaughter Kate Tate. Will you please lay a wreath along the border? Boulder. Thank you, Kate. This is the most wreaths we had here. Thank you. Elijah Baum also was not there to witness the first flight, but he was the first person Wilbur met when he first landed in Kitty Hawk, and Elijah guided Wilbur to Tate's house. Representing Elijah Baum is Judith Fearing, Lindsay Fearing, Chandler Fearing, J.P. Askew, Walter Zuhars, Kathy Elward, and Matilda Brown Zuhars. Would you please lay a wreath along the border? Large crowd here. All right.
That's great.
Thank you. Representing Wilbur and Orville Wright, there's me, and then my brothers Duncan, John, and Lauren Jameson. Would you please lay a wreath along the border? Thank you. I guess I'll stand here. All right, thank you all for joining us today, and enjoy the flyover at 10:35, and enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. And now we're going to have the entire group of witnesses show up for a group photo, if you can all do that.
Thanks, sir.
We can get some folks. Yeah. Right here, everyone. Right here.
Thank you very much. Good work, Brian.
Oh, I got it.
Good, Bob. It's all right.
Huh? Y'all want to get a better picture? You want a better picture? Huh? You sure?
Yeah, Dad, you're right in the live.
Warmed up. Actually,
I've been facing in that camera like the last 30 minutes.
My family's raised back second anniversary. If I that makes sense. It was a different scene. I saw John going. We'll walk by like you guys were like. She had 5. I don't think I'd be free. I'd be on the shuttle with you.
Let's go find our people.
Look at the blown up. I would take it. A VIP building.
Well, Arlen, I think we're cousins, so that's what we call each other. Nice talking with you, lady. Trying to make something of it.
Your camera.
Craig.
Craig.
Do us a favor. Sure.
Craig, Lindsay, come here.
Take a
Chandler.
picture of her.
Come here.
It'll be good if she does.
Well, my phone's out of storage.
Oh, no.
Take your glasses off first and then look at it. Well, I guess nobody else.
I can't promise.
Smile pretty.
Here we go. Wait, 1, 2, 3. All right, wait 1 moment, please.
Yeah.
There we go. That's awesome. Very good. Thank you all.
Thank you. Thanks, Sophie. Believe it or not, my phone storage is full. Imagine that. Imagine that. Thank you. Don't bump into that camera right there.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Well, I told Jamie I can't call her right now. Well, let me call her and ask her to bring him over at 12.
So I talked to you.
Are you headed?
Yeah.
Thanks, cousin, for coming.
Thanks for inviting us. Of course I did. It was nice. Thank you. Thank you.
They're still there looking at the plane.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. 40 minutes later, got to do a plane every year.
I just tell them to make a plane every year.
I know this problem.
There you go.
I'm a photographer. I'm a photographer full time these days. I'm a radio part-time.
I've got like,
The sun is out.
the sun is definitely out.
Yeah, I told her, I said, you know, where your store is, it used to be my Aunt Geneva's grocery store, where Kitty Hawk Kites is. Yeah. He goes, yeah, because that was where the old casino was, and her grocery store was right next to the casino. And my mother used to talk about it, that you know, she worked at their grocery store, because that was back when you didn't walk down shelves, it was all, and you had to go get it for you. So in the summertime, from the time she was 12 years old, she'd come stay with her Aunt Geneva and work in the store. Well, at night, because she could hear all the music going on at the casino, and she just loved it, you know, count bass. I mean, they had some big... Yeah. What my memory of the casino was some fisherman families down here from Munchies had a bunch of boys that were really rowdy, and they made them the bouncers at the casino.
Oh my God.
And I would see, and they did that because they were the rowdiest ones.
Easy peasy, right?
So, but you would see Stevie and Mike and throw somebody out the window of the casino. I mean, and it was two-store, and they would land on a car.
Oh my God.
They found it.
Oh no.
No.
I got your kids. School kids.
No, I have a vivid memory of that. I can tell you that Three Dog Night was playing, the music was playing, Jeremiah Was a Bullfrog. I swear to God, it was. That was a song.
That's awesome.
Okay, we are ready.
Let's go in a camera. It's live. Hello. Knock on. Oh.
Yeah, I'm going to Yeah, I got one last time. Dropped it off. Right, exactly, yeah.
I think I'm going to try to get another Oculus for next year so I can just stand.
Good idea.
Okay, do you like old class or new class?
Yes, sir. I'm doing great. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
See, I'm good. Good to see you.
No, we sent you.
Yeah. All right. Good to see you, Mark.
Right. Always.
You have a different hairdo. Yes.
This is a Mike's chair. Past president. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you too. I knew the other half. I understand. I do that a lot.
Boys are being out. Lynn Dad, like I wasn't saw you. Jesse. How you doing? Nice to meet you. She's the vice president of the first one. Whipping it on. We're trying.
So you and Rodney are brother and sister?
Yes, right. Yes, I'm Rodney. Talking about Lynn. Don't hold against me.
And I was talking about the barn house, how the light upstairs.
Mars Farm. Light it. Yeah. Well, and that's not on the stuff. Of course, my blowing driveway to me. Oh yeah. Mostly when they were there. That's what it was. Yeah, that was it. They're going as when my parents and their parents, they were friends. We
Were they landed?
They only did, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, we ran. Just like I came home and no parents. I know his daughter. I know anybody.
Yeah, so that's the end of the first one.
I was my youngest brother. Right. Everybody. It was just people that had saw a party going on. Just joined in. We had left and gone to the beach. And came back. Stuff. Yeah, and then I was with my daughter. When I come down here, and she was 17, so she didn't want to come. I left, and I forgot 20 minutes later. Go back home.
What's up, Sam? Good, how are you?
The house was full of kids. I was like, they all scattered. And this one horse was about to go.
Right.
That's but I did pay for that beer. And I said, well, I'll give it to you, but I'm going to call the cops right after I do. So just so you know, if you want me to do that, I will. And there's no you. You're like, yeah, I think I will. Yeah, raise kids like you.
How you doing?
That's right.
The commissioning of
A bunch of family made order online and they invited like, and I went by working there the other day. Like, you reach out to something like
Wow.
Milk in there. What is wrong with these kids today?
Right. Well, that's my 17-year-old granddaughter. You know, when she was younger, we had a trial and error. But ever since,
y'all come to luncheon today?
Actually, they're the worst ones. But she's not.
Captain of our basketball team. She just plays the one.
Look like a
Tammy and
I do.
Yeah, plus 14 and so
on the hill probably.
I'm like, here you go. I'm like, I have asthma. I can't. And I was just like, oh, what's my excuse? You know, I was just like, I'm weird enough. I don't want to get weird. So, but I still was just like, in the car. I was just like, oh my god. And I remember like thinking, I don't have basketball grade anymore, but I'm really all jacked up. Just a couple hours after the play.
Yeah.
Freshman and sophomore years.
I was a hatchet. I just hatchet everybody. I just, you know, I was just big.
At least that's what I know.
So I played with boys growing up. You know, I was Sam Casey.
I'm not getting nice.
Yeah. 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 Oh yeah. Well, see, I remember seeing it.
The Learjet flying over right now. We won't be able to track it very well. There it is. At 10:35.
And so, Daryl Collins and all of the people are the only people interested in.
All right, that's going to wrap it up. Thanks for joining us on this live stream of the 122nd anniversary of the Wright Brothers' first flight. Appreciate y'all watching. We'll have some highlights for you coming up at samwalkerobxnews.com. We'll see you later.
Probably so. Him and Bill Harris on the building might have looked quite about that. Yeah.
All right, nice to meet you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. We got it.
I never really.
Right, we get one more pass of the Learjet before we close out.
Allison's in the shredder.
Coming in from the north this time.
Yeah, my phone like made a video for me of like photos of skydiving. They're so late. Like, yeah, that's like all we do.
I mean, you gotta get your
Yeah. That's nice one. He loves it. Hi, look.
Not my cameras, I don't like to bring it out.
You got to.
It's just got.
They have it.
Like, when you drive home, I'll probably turn it on. But I'll like turn it on and then I'll do like one with him. Yeah, I won't do more than that with him. So, but he does pretty good. He likes to go shopping. He helps me put stuff in the car. He's good in the car.
George W. Bush.
He's throwing rocks.
Finally got it off. Anyway, you go back here with security. Yeah.
Hi, over here.
That's crazy. Like that could be it for playing. It'd be one of those years where.